Okay, next I'm going to talk about problems number 33, 34, 36, and 37 on your Thursday STAAR review. Let's look at number 33 first. It says the graph of y equals x squared plus c is a parabola with a vertex at the origin. Which of the following is true about the value of c? So if we're looking at this problem, they're giving us the equation y is equal to x squared plus c, and they're talking about this value of c right here. And the parabola having a vertex at the origin. If you remember, the vertex of at the origin means it's going through 0, 0. So this value right here also determines where the parabola is crossing the y-axis. If the parabola is going through the origin, that means we get 0, 0. So what should our value be here? Exactly, it can only be 0. Okay. Number 34. How does the graph of y equals 7x squared differ from the graph of y equals 1/7 x squared? Now, we're not changing the number after x squared, so we're not either translating up or down. Therefore, a and b are already out. And it is between c and d, where it's saying that either this one is wider than this one, or this one is wider than this one. Let's see. Certainly you can put it in the calculator, but without using the calculator, 7 is definitely greater than 1/7. Therefore, our answer can only be that this graph right here is narrow. Oops, that's D. Why? Because of what I've been saying so far. If the number in front of x squared gets smaller, the graph becomes wider. So therefore, since 1/7 is smaller than 7, this graph right here is actually wider. But we're looking for what this graph is in relation to this one. So if this is wider, this is definitely narrower. So therefore, the only answer option is D. Let's move on to number 36. So 36 is saying part of the graph of a quadratic equation is shown below. So we're talking about this graph right here. If the line of symmetry for this quadratic equation is at x equal 1.25, between which two integers will the other part of the graph intersect the x-axis? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to graph a vertical line through 1.25. Let's do that. Basically, this is the axis of symmetry. This is where the line, where the parabola is cut in half by the line. And as you know, in a parabola, the axis of symmetry in this case reflects one part onto the other. So if this is at 1.25, let's see how many steps we are away from this point right here. Because if this point is a certain amount away from the axis of symmetry, the other point should also be away the same amount of steps. So 1.25, 2.25, 3.25. Okay, so it's about 2 steps. So if I'm going 2 steps to the right, since this is a clear reflection, we need to go 2 steps to the left also. So from 1.25 to 0.25 to negative 0.25. So we would end up right about here. So this point is clearly between 0 and negative 1. Therefore, our answer is D. All right, last but not least, let's look at number 37. Number 37 asks, what are the zeros of the function y equals 1/2? Parentheses x plus 4, parentheses x minus 6. All this is, it means multiplication. And let's put this in the calculator and let's see what the calculator gives us. I'm going to go to y equals. I have to turn it on first. I'm going to put in 1/2 x plus 4 x minus 6. Oh man. And I'm going to graph it. And remember, the zeros are nothing but the x-intercepts or the roots, or where the parabola is crossing the x-axis. And as you can see, it's crossing it at -1, 2, 3, 4, at -4, and at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at +6. So one more time, when they're asking about the zeros, the roots or the x-intercept, you're going to graph it, and you're going to find where the line or where the parabola is crossing the x-axis. So again, in our case, it would be -4 and 6, and therefore A is the correct answer.